Today on Outside the Box Reviews, we are back with another Predator week, and today we are looking at the NECA Predator Series 11 Wasp Predator from the fan film Batman Dead End. So this is the third Predator in our Dead End collection, clan, whatever you want to call them. And this figure is coming out under 2 months from when we got our last Predator wave, the Kenner Tribute wave. So Predator waves have come pretty fast and furious the end of this year. So let's take a closer look at him. I think undeniably the coolest part of this whole figure is his accessory. He has this big, long spear, which kind of looks like a pencil with the yellowish brown on it. It's got some wrappings coming up here through the middle, then a blade at the end impaling a xenomorph head. It's very, very cool looking. A great sculpt on that xenomorph head. Of course, NECA has practiced with their current Aliens wave, but this is a little different. It's kind of sagging in the back, looking like the weight of it has kind of made it go limp. You can see the blade coming out through the top with all the blood coming off of it. And then here on the underside, some really great details. The blade goes in. You can see kind of the gore coming out from the alien head. Very nicely done. I really like this accessory. The biggest downside to it is it actually feels a little fragile because it's very, very heavy at the end. And when you have it in his hand in certain poses, it just feels like it's gonna snap in half from all that weight. The figure itself, I am a lot more lukewarm on because once again, we have another repaint of the Jungle Hunter. Or I guess more specifically, are we calling this the Albino Predator body now because it has the extra little armor up here on the shoulder, the exclusive armor that Predator had that we've already had 3 times since. Not bad. I like the paint scheme on here. I love the bright yellow and the black in here, but it's just a figure that we've had a lot of. And another interesting decision on NECA's part is the inclusion of the biomask, because in the film, Wasp was an unmasked Predator. He didn't have this on, but I don't know if it was concept art or fan art or what, but this mask was designed elsewhere. It wasn't designed by NECA. I think it looks pretty cool. They went with this kind of mustardy yellow on it with the black, so it wasn't really just replicating his flesh tone. But it is the classic Predator mask, the one we've seen a lot. Nothing really new and special here. I know this might be a weird gripe, not even a gripe, but a thought. I almost wish they would have used the Scout mask. If I remember correctly, the Scout Predator actually had the mesh in the eyes, and since the lead Predator in Dead End was basically the City Hunter Predator redone, it kind of would have been cool if he had the mesh to kind of fit that Predator 2 vibe, but there is some good scuffing on here that makes it look pretty neat. Of course, also we have the rubberized dreadlocks, which look just fine here. They're medium length on here, nothing too long or crazy. His armor is a good silver, but they have included some better colors in there than they have in the past. They have this kind of bluish in here, almost a tarnished copper look. And it's used very sparingly throughout, but it is in there. You can see it up here at the top by my thumb. And that was a color I really liked on some of the Lost Predators. They used it, I forget which one, the one that had the Gort mask. I forget what the official NECA name of that one was, but I really liked that color there. They also added some kind of normal rust, like a reddish brown look to it in some spots, and I like that as well. Some more examples of that up here, the brown on the chest, silver on the shoulder pad. There also is kind of a metallic blue thrown in a couple places. You can see up here on the shoulder, it's a little metallic blue, which I like a lot. It's a cool color. I kind of wish I would have used a little more. But standard arm, standard armor, this computer. Both hands are closed for grabbing things, so you can grab his staff with either hand or both. These are more the Predator 2 hands with the little dew claw here on the side. He has his wrist blade, of course, over here. It's extendable, just a plain silver blade. On his loincloth down here, he has some more of that blue metallic and is the rubberized one, so you can move it around, not hinder articulation. More black and yellow all over the legs, and more of the tarnished rust look on the leg guards. And of course, his Predator feet. Spin him around to the back, he has the flap covering his butt. And honestly, the color scheme here gets a lot darker on the back. I'm not a huge fan of how dark they went, but it's not horrible. It's just not nearly as bright and cool looking as the front, but I guess it wouldn't have made much sense to just have black on his sides and then yellow kind of down the middle everywhere else. For articulation, if you've been with me for all these Predator lines, you know what we're getting. Got a ball joint at the head, great range of motion, swivel at the waist on this figure, pin socket shoulders forward and back out to the side. The armor does kind of move out of the way, so you can do that. Can bend and swivel at the elbow. ball joint at the wrist, pin socket at the legs, forward, back, out to the side, swivel at the upper thigh, bend at 2 points at the knee, and a ball joint at the foot. And here I'm going to bring in the rest of the Dead End clan, and it's shaping up to be a pretty cool little subgroup. This isn't too shabby of a line so far. I'm still not too thrilled with having the Albino Predator, and I think once we get a couple more of these guys, which I'm sure NECA's planning, I'll probably move Albino to the back, which is a shame for a Comic-Con exclusive. But Wasp looks really great next to Big Red. They do kind of have a weird cohesion together. They look like they fit with one another. And overall, with those two, I'm pretty darn satisfied. It does kind of worry me that they gave him the non-movie accurate biomask, because I do have to wonder whether as a normal release or a Comic-Con exclusive or something, we're going to end up getting an unmasked version at some point down the road. And I just don't know if I need to go that deep into Dead End Predators where I need masked and unmasked of the same character. And if that does happen, then this figure's rankings are probably going to drop in my opinion a bit. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to throw in the DC Collectibles Batman Arkham Origins figure. This is the current Batman I have facing off with my Dead End tribe, and I think he fits pretty well in scale with them. And even though he's not accurate to Dead End at all, even close, I still think he's a great Batman to go with the Preds. But overall, I feel kind of weird when it comes to Wasp, because I'm inclined to recommend him, and I think I am going to officially recommend him, but it's not going to be a strong recommendation, mostly because I don't really know why I'm recommending him. I love his accessory, and I think his paint job's very eye-catching and eye-pleasing, and I guess at this point, with NECA pretty much in repaint territory for the foreseeable future, that's all I can really hope for out of my Predator figures. But I know I was pretty down on the Albino Predator, and I got some flack for that. And this guy doesn't have a whole lot going on for him that really makes him any better than the Albino Predator, outside of that accessory. Maybe the accessory really is the tipping point, is I felt with Albino we didn't get much of anything. We didn't get a plasma caster or anything like that. Here, even though we don't get a plasma caster either, we do get a cool spear with a Xeno head that is very well sculpted. And maybe that really is the tipping point that pushes this guy into a recommendable figure. Also, his paint job is a hell of a lot less garish, and that's hard to say when he looks like a rejected member of Stryper. And I'm sure only 3 of you got that obscure reference. But yeah, a mild recommendation for Wasp Predator. You could do a heck of a lot worse picking up a figure. Make sure you check out Outside the Box Reviews on Facebook. There'll be a link below. Check out Outside the Box Reviews on Instagram. Username Outside the Box Reviews. And until next time, spend it Outside the Box Reviews. Stay tuned for more Predator Week to come. If you collect it, you can find it at allscaleseverything.com.